What up? It's your boy Nick Incredible Man. Yes, I'm back at it again, and this is Fire Force episode 6 discussion slash review, man. Because Fire Force was good this week. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was very, very good. And I loved seeing the colors in the animation and the visuals for this episode. But before I talk about this episode, let's talk about some of the things I didn't like, man, because there were moments in here that I didn't like. I didn't like the fact that Shinra beat Hibana in his first time, like, officially fighting her. The first time, like, she pretty much used her powers and shut him down. But this time they had an official fight, and he beat her. And granted, I know, please don't flood my comment section, but I know that the only reason he beat her was because she really wasn't her full self. She was, she was kind of more of that demented rage type thing where she had a trauma and that was kind of weighing on her, and that kind of dulled her senses and messed with her real abilities. So that's what that was, and they let Shinra beat her to show that Shinra is such a good guy and that he saves her and that she comes around and she becomes a good person, and she kind of has lovey-dovey for him because her eyes kind of turned to hearts at the end when he and everything. So I understand that, and I liked it, but then I didn't like it at the same time. I mean, I felt like it should have been a little harder for him to actually beat her. I mean, he overcame everything that she threw at him within this one episode. There's no problem with that, but it was parts of it I didn't like, and there was parts of it that I did enjoy. And the animation and some of the fight scene, like the beginning of the fight, it was fantastic. Like midway through, it got a little off. But I'm not complaining because I know where the budget went this episode. It was the animation and the CGI colors for her Sakura tree and the flashback where she was using the colors and to make the fire look like flowers. So I know that's where the budget went for that. So I'm not complaining that the animation was bad. I'm just saying that those were some of the things that I didn't enjoy in this episode. But everything else was absolutely wonderful, man. Let's start at the beginning, I guess. We got Hibana talking to the sister, and she that's where it picked up off last week. And then we get Shinra busting in through the doors to come save the sister. And so that was nice. I love when Shinra plays the hero, and it fits him, so it fits him perfectly well. Then we get to the whole fight of Shinra and Princess Hibana. Like I said, I enjoyed the fight. I think the fight was absolutely wonderful. And let's be real, at the end, he decked old chick. I mean, he decked her good, man. He got her real good, and that was nice. And like I said, I love the colors and the visuals for this episode, and I know that's where the budget went because her Sakura tree, her little other flower attack that she was using, and the psychosis with the glowing eyes, and all of that. That's where the budget went. And I'm not complaining because all of that was very wonderful. And throughout the flashback, seeing her use her powers when she was little. So it was totally fine, and I'm okay with that. What else? Oh, we learned some of her attacks, which is the psychosis part, which was kind of cool. She kind of messes with their mind using her pyrokinesis, and it kind of makes you dull in your senses and everything, and you're uncoordinated. So that was nice to see how strong she actually was. So I would love to see a fight between her and Shinra again, when she's herself and she's fully involved and she's not like going psycho. So I'd love to see that. But oh, the most beautiful scene in this episode. I love seeing the flowers with the colors and everything. That was very pretty, very nice. But when she done that Sakura tree, when the fire was like active and it looks like CGI because it was like it looked alive and it was moving at the same time, and then the leaves of it done a Sakura tree and it was falling. That was dope, dude. That was absolutely wonderful, man. I see and I understand where the budget went because that tree was fantastic with the flowers and the fire. That was absolutely wonderful. Then we see the whole backstory of the sister and the princess, and we understand why she felt this way, man. And we see them kind of having a budding relationship, and her talking about her faith because she wasn't a devout sister. Everyone else was, and she was just there, just going through the motions. And they all, either someone set them on fire or they spontaneously combust like everybody else in this world. And that jarred her. Like, they were devout in their faith, and they just caught a blaze. Like, I'm assuming like little kids and some of the older ones, and that just jarred her mentally, man. That really messed with her. That broke her. And I love the fact that Shinra came through and saved her, and kind of got her out of her whole mental state. I mean, that's typical anime, but it was good to see that, and I'm glad she's kind of on our side now. I mean, she's in a different company, but I'm glad she's on our side. She's a good guy now, so and that's always wonderful. I mean, too much didn't happen this episode. It wasn't really in depth or anything. It was just wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And they kind of just wrapped up everything that was going on. What else? Shinra saved her. Oh, in her past, and we saw exactly why she done everything that she was doing, and we saw her developing science with the fire to use that to manipulate her way into becoming a Fire Force captain. So all of that was nice, and I would love to dive more into that and how that came to be. But yeah, this episode didn't have too much, man. It was just a whole wrap up of the previous episodes to kind of close the whole thing of the battle with Company 5. So that was very nice. It was a very nice wrap up, and it was nice to see Shinra play the hero. It was nice to see Iris, which is the sister, and Hibana mend their relationship and go back to being sisters. And having Hibana finally on the good guy's side, and kind of seeing what the sister's backstory was with the nunnery and everything else. So all of that was just overall, it was very nice episode. It's just, it had few moments that I nitpick about, but I'm not complaining because I know where the budget went, and where the budget went, it was heavily needed, and you can tell that they wanted to stick those moments with the budget, because that tree and her flowers that she done with the colors and everything were absolutely fantastic. But before I end this, we gotta talk about the one moment that I skipped over because I wanted to save it for the end, and that is the moment that she was changing the colors of her flowers. We learned the same stuff in Dr. Stone today. So how cool is that? That was absolutely fantastic. Everything that she done with the chloride and the sulfur and everything to change the color of her flowers with fire, we learned that today in Dr. Stone. That is absolutely fantastic. So check out the thumbnail. This thumbnail is gonna be bangers for this video, man. All right, this is your boy Dick Incredible. Don't forget to smash that like button so you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, and subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. And remember that anime matters, anime is greatness, and anime is life. Peace out.